Okay, so find a long spine. It doesn't really matter what you look like, but see if you're in a chair, if you might uncross your ankles and uncross at the knees. So the feet are in line with the knees, knees in line with the hips, shoulders on top of the hips, and then head as best you can stacked on top of your spine. So especially for us that like type and write a lot, especially at work, it can be really helpful to imagine pinching the shoulders behind you and then tucking your chin down and back slightly. It might even feel kind of weird, like you're forcing it, but you're looking for a long line of energy from the tail to the crown of your head. Yeah, don't force it so much. Just a little encouragement in those directions. And then keep your elbows bent. Let your hands rest on your body somewhere. Hands on the legs is really helpful, but you might also do one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, especially if you're newer to paying attention to your breath. Lock your attention ahead of you and slightly down, and then soften the muscles around your eyes and your jaw. Consciously relax the muscles around your neck and the tops of your shoulders. Good. Mentally separate yourself from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. And as always, we'll start with grounding and centering yourself by using your senses. This is a really great way to grab onto easy brain candy and bring yourself from an anxious, worried, hyper aroused mind into a present minded mind. So start with what you can see. Just notice shapes and colors. Notice lights and shadows. Notice where the doors and the windows are in relation to your body. Notice where the other people are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the space besides my voice. And remind yourself that you don't need to manage those noises or do anything about those noises. It's just something to notice. Notice the air around your body. In particular, notice where air is touching your skin versus where your clothing is covering your skin. See if you can get a sense of pressure or maybe texture or temperature there. Notice the weight of your body in your seat. See if you can allow yourself to get heavier in those places where you're touching down. And then imagine being lighter from the waist up, being taller without extra effort. And notice your breath without changing it. It's normal when you bring attention to the breath to want to deepen it or elongate it naturally. That's normal. But just see if you can let yourself passively breathe in and out without forcing anything. And notice what that feels like. Is it kind of smooth or kind of choppy today? Does that feel quick or slow? Does it feel easy or labored? And then if you want to exert a little control over the breath, you can elongate the inhales. Imagine they're coming down deeper into your belly. You might even feel your belly kind of expand as the diaphragm moves down and squishes the organs. And then as you exhale, the belly recedes back inward towards the central point as the diaphragm lifts. Good. Preferably in and out of the nose, but if you're stuffy or something, breathe in and out of the mouth as you need. The nose helps slow down the breath because it creates a smaller tube than the opening of the mouth, right? So if you are breathing out of your mouth, pretend you're blowing out a candle or blowing out of a straw, and that will help slow the air down instead of your nose. Two or three more rounds like that. Deeper, lower inhales. Slower, longer exhales. Just half a beat or a beat longer. It doesn't have to be twice as long. Finish the round that you're on. And then return back to your natural passive breath and notice if anything has changed so far. Good. Inhale, open your eyes if you haven't already. It's normal for the lights to look like they have a different quality. So don't be unnerved about that. And then if you're going to continue through the movement portion of class with me, scoot forward towards the edge of your seat so you have more space behind you and to the sides of your body. And then today, I think it's chilly out, it's December. We'll do a little more warming activities where you can either sit or you could stand and just use the chair to help you balance and for support. I'll show you both versions of them. Cool? Okay. So inhale, get really tall through the crown of your head and just stay there. This is called axial extension. So you very gently tuck your tail. You might not even actually move it. You might just imagine the tail reaching down for the floor and reach up through the crown of your head. Chin down and back, shoulders are pulling down away from the ears. You might feel a lot right there. Good. Next time you breathe in, maintain that length, and then exhale, let the right ear come towards the right shoulder, just the weight of your head tilting over. Shoulders are down. Option to reach the opposite arm down or away. You can bend the elbow or lengthen it, palm up or down. Find something interesting for another breath. And then inhale back to the center at your own cadence. Exhale, other side. If you tried the arm on the other side, try it here as well. But remember, we're not trying to force the two sides to look the same or feel the same. We're just doing the same practice on each side. So getting something really different sensation-wise is normal. We all have a stronger side, a tighter side, a looser side. When you're ready, inhale back to the center and exhale, look to the right. So turn your face towards the right side of the room. Chin still down and back, so you keep your head stacked on top of your spine. And pretend there's a marker on your nose so you can draw circles in the air one direction. And then the other direction too. Still breathing, still softening the muscles in your face, especially your eyebrows and your forehead and your jaw. As you're ready, inhale through the center and exhale to the other side. Circles on this side, go one direction a few times and then the other. Notice the difference between the two sides and between the two directions on the same side. Next inhale, come back to the center. And then exhale, stay super long all the way up until your neck, and then just tuck your chin down towards your chest. You can stay here, or you could scrape your chin towards the right, and then back down through the center and towards the left. You might intensify by adding pressure of fingers on the back of your skull with the elbows apart, or you could draw the elbows together. Either way, keep imagining the shoulders pulling down and away from the ears, whether you're moving or not. Good. When you do the same amount of turns on each side, if you're moving, stay in stillness in the center for an extra breath. Squeeze your shoulders behind you, belly organs lift in and up. And next time you breathe in, lift your head and look forward. Okay, so we've done half sun salutations in here before. And just to remind you, that's when you inhale, lift your arms, exhale to fold over, inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold, and then you inhale and come all the way up again. Okay. Today, I want to show you a different way of doing a sun salutation where you're actually standing, but you're still using your chair for support. So you can still do this at your desk at work. But this is for when you're feeling a little more active and like you want to warm up a little more or just make something a little more challenging. Okay. So everyone stand facing your seat of your chair, not the back. because you want to be able to access both the low setting of the seat and the high setting of the seat at the same time. If you turn it the wrong way, you won't be able to get to the seat part. Make sense? So you're going to face the chair and we're going to do the same arm motions. Okay. Just instead of having a seated position in the lower body, it's going to be standing. So the first one's going to be exactly the same as we've done before. So arms down by your sides, looking straight ahead. Push really generously into all of your toes and your heels. Squeeze the muscles onto your legs, squeeze your glutes, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, and shoulders are down with the arms down, palms facing forward. Gaze is ahead too. Pushing down, then inhale, reach up with your arms and let your hands reach overhead. You can keep your elbows really bent or you can straighten them really, really far. Stay here for another breath. Get as long as you possibly can. Reach past your feet, reach past your fingertips. Your gaze might even go up. And then exhale to fold forward. So bend your knees generously, and you could put your hands on your chair and let your torso come closer to your legs. Some bodies might release the arms down towards the floor so you can kind of hang. Either way, let the head get super heavy. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Inhale, come halfway up. So your hands might land on your legs or on the seat of your chair. Reach through the crown of your head and make your back as long and flat as possible. Weight in your heels. Stay for a breath. Squeeze your shoulders onto your spine, belly in. Next time you exhale, fold forward again. Push into your feet. Inhale, come all the way to stand with the arms overhead again. This time they might touch at the top. And then exhale, let your hands come down the center of your face and land at your heart. Okay, so you see how it's the same thing. You can do it seated. We're going to do a couple, or you can do the standing version now, like I just showed you. Okay, so inhale, reach around and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your toes too. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, come up all the way. Hands touch at the top. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more at your own pace. Worry less about what it looks like. Focus on matching up your movement with your breathing. I'm going to do a second round. You can take a break. You can sit and do one seated. Or you can do something I didn't mention. When you're done, be done. Come back into your mountain pose or Tadasana. That's feet under the hips, arms hanging by your sides, palms facing forward, shoulders down away from the ears, looking ahead. Weight is evenly distributed between your toes and your heels and the right and left side. And just notice anything that's left over so far. Maybe you notice nothing. That's okay. It might give you information, though, about whether or not that was helpful for you, whether or not you could go stronger or you need to take it easy more. Okay, so now I'm going to show you an even more challenging version. That's a full sun salutation. Have y'all seen a burpee? Do you know what a burpee is? Yeah? No? Okay. I'm not going to show you because they're hard, but it involves a push-up in the middle, okay? And in yoga, we also do a back bend and a forward bend. So let me demonstrate one, and then I'll walk you through a couple. And remember, this is a warming, activating, energetic kind of practice. So this is great to do when you want to warm up your body or when you need to wake up. It's a sun salutation. It's literally like to do when the sun's coming up in the morning. Okay. So it starts the same. You inhale, reach up, exhale, fold. You inhale, halfway lift, and you exhale, fold. Then you come into a plank. And this can be easier if you bring the toes underneath your hips, and it can be harder if you bring your toes away from your hips, so you're in more of a line. Okay. Then you do a back bend. You dip your hips forward and use the strength of your arms to lift your chest and belly towards the chair. Then as you exhale, come back through neutral and you do a really long spine in a down dog shape. And we've done this before too. Remember, your knees can be super bent. We're not looking for long locked legs. We're looking for a really, really long spine. Let the chair be there to support you. You can really push into your hands and really lift up out of the seat as you're pressing. Then you inhale to come forward. And you reach up. Exhale, hands are in front of you again. So it's just like adding a little bit extra to the half sun salutations that we just did. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But if you want to try it, let's do it. So face your chair. Feet are planted really firmly underneath you. Hands are down by your sides. Relax your face. Shoulders are heavy. Inhale, reach around and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward again. Here is where we will add on. Inhale, come to your plank pose. Hands on your chair, feet are where you choose. Inhale, send your hips forward and lift your chest up by pushing into your hands. Maybe you look up. Exhale, hips come way back, arms get really long, chest comes down, looking for a long spine. Stay here for 3 breaths. Aiming for ears between the biceps. Aiming for a long feeling between the tail and the crown. You might even bend one knee at a time to get more sensation and stretching into the backs of the legs. Inhale, step forward more. Exhale, fold forward all the way. Bend your feet. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand, reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. If you got lightheaded, tuck your chin down and back. A little press on the arteries there can help kind of bring you back to neutral faster. Okay, so if you prefer the chair version, please go back to the chair version. If you want to keep warming up and trying this with me, let's do 2 a little faster now. Let your breath be your guide. So regardless of what I'm saying, when you're ready to breathe in or out, do the next movement or do something I didn't say, okay? Let's do it. It could be fun. Inhale, reach around and up. Maybe a back bend, hips forward, elbows back. Exhale to fold. Your choice, hands down or on your chair. Inhale, halfway lift, long, strong spine. Lift your toes. Exhale to fold. Inhale, your version of plank. Exhale to stay. Really long and strong. Inhale, hips forward, chest forward, gaze forward and up. Exhale, down dog. Reach through the hands, chest lowers down, knees are as bent as you need. Stay for 3 breaths. Keep imagining you're reaching your hips up and back, up and back, up and back. Yeah. Press into the knuckles under your index fingers too. Act like there's a beach ball between your hands and you're going to squeeze your forearms together to hold the ball. Last breath here. Inhale to step forward more. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Push into your feet. Inhale, rise up all the way. Hands touch at the top. Exhale, hands down at your heart. Okay. Inhale, reach around and up. Maybe a back bend. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to your plank pose. Exhale to stay. Inhale, hips forward, big back bend. Exhale, down dog. Stay for 3 breaths. Reach as long as you can. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Reach through all of your fingertips and back through your hips and your tailbone. Bend your knees as much as you need. Maybe you bend one and straighten the other, and then do the opposite pair too. Inhale, walk closer to your chair so you can exhale, fold all the way. Push into your feet. Inhale, rise up. Let your hands touch at the top. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Good. Release your arms. If you wish, you can take a seat. We're done working hard, I promise. But find a place where you can rest, either seated or standing, and scan your body from the bottom to the top. Maybe you start at the tips of the toes or the bottoms of the feet, through the legs. Notice your torso from the bottom to the top. Notice both of your arms. Notice your shoulders and your neck and your whole head. Take inventory of what might feel different. Maybe a certain place in your body is calling for your attention. Just acknowledge it. It's not right or wrong. It's just something that's there. Notice your breath again. Start to deepen your breath like we did earlier. Bigger, lower inhales. Longer, slower exhales. A few more like that. Good. Open your eyes if you haven't already. And then come to seat if you haven't sat yet. We'll do just 1 or 2 postures for a cool down, and then class will be over surprisingly fast. Good. So identify your right leg, and then either cross the right ankle over the left ankle and let the knee fall open. If you feel a lot, stay there. Or you could take the right ankle on top of the left thigh, not on the kneecap, but on the squishy part of the thigh. And then again, let gravity open your knee out to the side. You want to pick the one that lets you feel tall still and doesn't make you like with your face, okay? So hips can be really tight. So you could just let gravity pull it open. That it'll be different on everybody because of gravity and because of your weight and your flexibility and your bone structure. There's like 2, so it doesn't say anything about you, okay? If you want more sensation, like if you don't feel much, option to place a hand on the inside of your thigh and to apply really generous pressure, but not to push. So you're not like, okay, be gentle here. Another option, if you don't want to apply pressure, but you feel the urge to move more, is to do circles. So pretend your torso is like a spoon in a bowl and stir the bowl a few times this way and then a few times that way. And then come to stillness in the center. Lift your knee up so you can grab onto your pants or your knee with your hands, and then give it a really good squeeze across the midline of your body, like towards your left armpit. Really pull, and you're going to feel a sensation on the outside of the hip, maybe into the low back as well. Try to stay tall. Try to relax your face still. And then release your leg down with or without your hands. Lower your leg back down so your foot can come next to the other. Take a breath in between. Notice any differences between the 2 sides of your body. And then we'll do the other side. So same options here. Maybe you're just crossing at the ankles. Give that a moment before you decide to just launch your leg up. But if you want to, you can bring your leg onto the thigh. Maybe just gravity is pulling the knee open. Maybe you're pressing a very little amount, or maybe you're kind of drawing your circles or stirring the bowl on this side. Still imagine a long spine, even when you're stirring and like coming forward more, lengthen the spine the whole time. It might help to pull the belly in and up to support the low back. And then go the other way too if you're moving. And then come to stillness. Lift your knee up enough so you can grab onto your pants or your knee with your hands. And then give a generous pull across the midline of your body towards the, what is that? The right shoulder. And then carefully release that. And with or without your hands, let your foot come back down to the ground. Good. Take a breath in between. Notice what's left over. And then remember, if you're doing this at home, if you're doing asymmetrical, like different on each side, you always want to end with symmetry. So same on each side. Okay. So I might offer 2 different versions of a forward fold here. It'll help you cool down. It's great for stress and if you're overheated and anxious and that sort of thing. So one option is to keep the knees where they are in front of you, like in line with your hips. And you can either put your elbows on your knees and cradle your head, especially if you get migraines. I wouldn't recommend head coming below the heart. But the other way to do it is to let the arms dangle and let the head dangle. And then you're really squishing to the belly. So if you just ate, not a good idea. The other version of this is to give the belly way more room by widening the stance so that your knees are coming out wider than the hips. And then again, head in your hands with elbows and knees touching, or you can dangle this time in between the legs instead of on top of them. Make your choice and take a few breaths in that position. Release the muscles in your forehead and your neck. Let the head be super heavy. Even if your head is in your hands, let it be like a bowling ball, just sitting there, heavy. While you're constricting the front of your body, see if you can breathe bigger into the back of your body. Remembering that your lungs physiologically are bigger in the back. Fill them up all the way. Maybe for the first time today. Very carefully and very slowly roll yourself back up to a tall spine. Let your head and your shoulders come up last. Maybe when you get to the top, you have the urge to do a really big shoulder roll. And then scoot back into your seat so you're sitting all the way. Maybe you touch the floor, maybe you don't. And line yourself up anatomically neutral again, just like we did at the beginning. So feet in line with your knees in line with your hips, shoulders stacked on top, head is stacked on top of your spine. You might even do that chin tuck down and back. Press your head into an invisible wall behind you. Arms are resting, gaze is locked ahead. And I'll offer a short guided body scan meditation. That's how we normally end class, unless we do breath work or something. So, but if you have like a prayer or an affirmation or something you're already working with, now at the end of class is a really good time to incorporate that for yourself, and you can just ignore me. If you're following along with me, bring your awareness and attention now just to the tips of your toes. Notice what you find or don't find. Notice bottoms of your feet. Notice tops of your feet. Notice your ankles. Notice your low legs. Notice your knees. Notice your upper legs. Notice your buttocks. Notice your hips. Notice your pelvis. Notice your low belly. Notice your low back. Notice sides of your waist. Notice your upper back. Notice your chest. Notice your shoulders. Notice your armpits. Notice upper arms. Notice your elbows. Notice lower arms. Notice your wrists. Notice backs of your hands. Notice palms of your hands. Notice all of your fingertips. Notice front of your throat. Notice back of your neck. Back of your head. Top of your head. Notice your forehead. Notice your temples. Notice your ears. Notice your cheeks. Notice your jaw. Notice your chin. Notice your lips. Notice your teeth. Notice your tongue. Notice your nose. Notice your right eyelid. Notice your left eyelid. Notice your right eyebrow. Notice your left eyebrow. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Now that you've scanned your whole body one piece at a time, take a step back and notice the whole system together as one big piece. Good. Now let go of that. Bring awareness back to your body's weight on your seat. Notice your breath again without changing it. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes to let your body wake back up. And I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position with your thumbs touching the center of your chest. You can stack your hands. You can do anything that feels comfortable. And look down or bow down towards your heart and your hands. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for showing up, trying something new, carving out time just to be with your breath and your body. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. Class is over. Thank you for coming. I'll stop the recording. And then if you have any questions or concerns or just want to share, we can do that.